Hey guys, I wanted to just jump on and share something so cool that I've really noticed. So I won't get into this theory because it's pretty neat and it involves like visuals. But I have a theory that I actually had like 7 years ago, um, of the two worlds. So there's, you hear about the false matrix. I call that the world. And then there's the truth, the original blueprint, the Garden of Eden. And I refer to that as the earth, the way. So I have a cool analogy where I take two pieces of paper and cut them into spirals. And then I pull the spirals apart, and that's essentially what's happening right now. This is ascension, is the truth, the world, the the false matrix that we've been existing in, that we've been programmed and conditioned to believe that we have to exist within and oblige by. There's the separation, and it's pulling from the earth, the truth, the Garden of Eden. And so right now, if you're really bound to the stories and programming of the world, you're going to experience a lot of suffering in your body and your life. And this is really for you. It's to really wake you up. The last 7 years, our bodies, our souls have spoken to us through our bodies, and they've whispered and they've knocked. And so many of us that are really here to really wake up to that fifth dimensional state and really ascend and show the way, we've had a lot of struggles. You've probably dealt with mental illness, gut health. You've been labeled with having bipolar, and that's something I just can't wait to talk more about, is the truth behind mental illness, where yeah, bipolar, we've come walking both worlds, like light workers, star seeds, whatever label you want to give it. We've come with that capacity to hold both of these worlds so that essentially we can arrive at a choice point and choose truth and then show the way for others. And so we've been burdened with this shame of being dirty and broken and need to be fixed, and we have bipolar. But bipolar is simply the two polars, the polarity. And that's where we have to master the art of being in this world, but not of it. And so our bodies had to start to scream to get our attention, to wake us up to this. And so, right now, if you're experiencing these crazy health challenges and health symptoms and highs and lows, you're right on track. And it's just time to really honor that. The call to walk the path of purity is here, and it's now. And it's so important in this now moment to take this very serious. I know the last 7 years I've really, I've healed my dysbiosis. I've healed so much of my body stuff. And I've really awakened to the truth and exactly what's going on. But I still slip and slide. You get pulled back into the world. And so these energies, these intense energies that are coming up through us, if we still hold on to stories, traumas, emotions, if we are still carrying the burdens, the shame, the guilt, the fear of our ancestors, then as this light pushes up and out, so too it's going to push up and out all that we are not, to make way for all that we are. And we can support this. I've been, I've channeled and then also just cultivated from my own experience the most brilliant plan. And it's my 40-day flow. And it's a path home to your true self. And it deals with gut health and mental health. And essentially, you come for the physical, for the gut health, and you end up leaving with, I just got to switch my music up. you end up leaving with your full self. And so, if we're not aware of what this is, we can carry so much shame and guilt. And that's what, I don't know, my words still for this, I'll call it the enemy, the devil, the forces working against our rise. That's what they really want to hijack, is they want to, instead of the truth of exactly what this is you're a light worker, you're a sacred child of God, you're a child of God who came to experience this pull, this separation, and choose. And then by choosing it, you show you show the way, and so the way they hijack that is they place shame on us. They make us feel like we're broken, like we have a mental illness. You have bipolar, you need to take medication, you need to fix yourself. And it's so far from the truth. um, Bipolar essentially is existing in these two different frequencies. And so when you're aware of this and you see how sacred and sovereign you are, and you start to choose to live in that truth and that alignment, it's really phenomenal. And so, like I said, that's a whole chunk of its own. But I just wanted to kind of foreshadow what I'm about to say with that, because what I'm noticing right now, so these two worlds, these two energies, it's so rapid, it's so instant, it's so tangible. um, I have a whole nother talk too about my body talks and how my body began to really communicate with me. It really had to start getting loud. And it's just really, it's such a cool subject. And I'm really passionate about it, because I've had, certain health issues, and I've gone to specialists and spent thousands of dollars and traveled Canada. And every single time, the remedy, the medicine, the answer has always lied in me simply choosing truth, choosing myself, self-love, self-acceptance. and and it's just listening. And when you just accept and you sit with it and you release that hold that it has on you, it just disintegrates. It just does. And I've had literally like six strong, crazy examples of this in my life. And so I'm at a place of this ultimate faith and ultimate trust that, man, this is really real. And so my latest experience with this has been my teeth. And the lighting on my laptop is friggin' good, okay? So yes, my teeth look really white right now. But I'm in the energy of it. So another little sidebar, I just remember in my 20s, if I was getting ready to go out and I would have anxiety, or there'd be a bunch of other girls around, or I'd have a boyfriend around, or my mind, I was existing in this different energy. I just couldn't get myself to look the way I felt, to look the way I know I looked. But if I was by myself, if I was playing the right music, if I was calm, if I was in this other energy, I would physically represent that. And I just remember being aware of this, like really aware of this, and not really understanding exactly what it is. And now I really understand what it is. And it's wild, leading up to me going to Mexico, I was in a pretty low place. Just going through this new navigation with my husband, as we expand our family into a different dynamic. It re-stimulated a lot of fear and traumas, and kind of pushed me a little back into that fight or flight, which was necessary because it showed I was still holding a lot of that fear from my own childhood and just generational stuff that I haven't fully healed from or fully brought closure into. And so everything is for us right now. If your house is crumbling right now, if your marriage is falling apart, if you're having crazy health issues, like, you're right on track. It's all happening for us, but it doesn't mean you have to accept it. And this is where we become aware of exactly what this is. And I'm just here to share how instant choice points are right now. It's crazy. So my teeth have been this crazy example of this. So leading up to my Mexico trip, I was in this state of inflammation and fear again. And my teeth just, they just yellowed, and they really started to, they were so sensitive. It didn't matter what I ate, what I did. and geez, and then that just stimulated all this fear, and then shame comes in. It's like, I did this to myself, I drank too much coffee, I was had too much anxiety. And that's just a vicious cycle. And I removed myself from the environment I was in that was stimulating this inflammation and this fight or flight response. And in Mexico, I became very happy and at peace. I really came back into Naslin and my body, and it was wild. It's just like looking in the mirror. I'm like, what? Wow, what? Look at these teeth. I'm looking at a different set of teeth than a day ago when I was back at home. And so then I come home, and yes, we're navigating through this as healthy and, amicable as we can. And it's a beautiful thing. And I know me and Chad will be absolute best friends, and we're going to show the kids this really cool dynamic. But there's still emotions. There's still lingering, little residual, resentments and things that have to be worked through. There's emotions that have to be felt through. And so coming back into this home, it was like 2 days in, and all of a sudden I'm smiling and I'm noticing, oh my gosh, like I physically am morphing back into what I was before I left. And it's just insane. And then there's that whole thing of today. It was kind of like, well, screw it. My energy again was really pulled into the emotions and the heaviness of the density of, you know, this old self. And then it's like, you kind of get down, and then it's like, well, screw it. I might as well have that coffee now. And then I have that coffee, and then comes in the blame and the shame. And now I'm staring at myself in the mirror, looking at my teeth like, oh my God, they're just yellow again. And oh my God, and you just get into that cycle of just beating yourself up and self-sabotage. And that's what I noticed crept back in today, was self-sabotage. Just held in the shame and the cycle of self-sabotage. And so, me and Chad did a lot of talking and alchemizing these energies. And by the afternoon, I was really able to pull myself back into that higher frequency, that higher energy. And it, again, is wild that by the end of the day, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, there she is. There she is. Um, I just want to make sure I have this song saved. I just love my music so much. It's really important to me. Add to playlist. Oh, already added. It's a good song when it's already added. Um, and I just really wanted to share today how real it is, how wild, how absolutely instant it is, how it choosing what energy to exist in, whether that's in the false matrix, this false world, or whether that's in heaven, the fifth dimension, the Garden of Eden, the earth. It's instantly reflected physically. And so okay, so I have going all in for Naslin and God. And that's really important to me right now, is not getting washed away in these worries and the wonders of the world. And just really, it's so important right now to remain fixed and focused and to hold that highest version and vision of yourself, and go for her, baby. Go for her. Fight for her. Run towards her. Lean into her. And that's where, you in the Bible, where Jesus constantly declared, I am Jesus, a son of God. And that's what we have to do all day, all day. Just declare that. I am Naslin. I am God's daughter. Only Naslin and God live in this body. Because what is God? God is truth. God is simply truth. The life force energy in every single thing is God. So you want God living in your body, because if God and you aren't in your body, then you're opening this sacred temple to be filled with entities, attachments, addictions, you know, emotions, because it's like right now the rug of the world has been lifted, and underneath it is a bunch of shit that's been shoved for millions of years, and we're here to alchemize it and release it and let it go. But as that rug got shook up, our little traumas were tricked and trapped into thinking and believing that we have to absorb and hold all those energies, when we're supposed to simply let them pass through. Through the body is the way. Stay in your body, let all these energies and entities that are scrambling right now for a home and a ride home, let them just flow through. And you do that by remaining in you. How do you remain in your body? You do what lights you up. You follow what lights you up. You keep your body well. Yeah, you do the physical human wellness. You follow your joy, you follow your heart, and you live in your full truth and alignment. So this year was wild as I started to choose Naslin, and it's just shown me how crazy supported we are. I went from being, this beautiful stay-at-home mom. I loved my life the last 11 years, but I definitely didn't choose myself. And so when I made the choice to just separate with Chad, like, we got to go and walk side by side now, not so interweave, not so emotionally attached, be partners in a different way. So we both stand fully in our own selves now. And when I made that decision, it's like all of a sudden peace washed over our whole family. All of a sudden, I get this opportunity to travel internationally and teach yoga in beautiful places like Cancun. All of a sudden, I've had the most wonderful people appear in my life. All of a sudden, this transformational, like, healing and wellness just flooded into me. And it's just, we're taught to be so afraid of this. We're taught to be so afraid of our own self and our own power that so much of the time we don't go for it. We don't go for it. But I'm just wanting to say right now, like, go for it. I'm a living example that if you just go no holds barred on your life and you choose you and you declare every single day, I am Naslin. I am a daughter of God. I am worthy of all that life has for me. I accept where I am. I allow and I believe, and so therefore I receive. And we're just taught that this is selfish, and I struggled with that for so long, but it's not selfish. This is what God wants for us. God is us. And when we choose us, we're choosing God. And then you just represent that. And that is this beautiful projection that you ripple out into the world. This peace, this joy, this love, this ease, this abundance, this health, this beauty, this youth, this radiance. And then when people say, what do you want? What do you want? And you just say, God, man. God. And it's like, what is God? Who is God? Well, God is an energy. It's a choice. God is the truth. God is heaven. God is the Garden of Eden. God is the good in every single thing, every situation, every place, every experience. So we're just being called to choose that right now. And our bodies are going to get really loud because ascension is here. We're in it. And the thing is, when we're these givers and we're taught to help and save and fix everybody, it just brings everyone down because only you can make that choice. And so if you're carrying someone else by way of attachment, or you're holding their heavies for them, or you're harboring their emotions for them, everyone loses. But when you choose you and you clear out all that isn't you, and you walk in your full faith, your full alignment, your full self, your full God self image, you're showing the way. You're giving them permission. You're showing them the path for them to do that too, because everyone has to be the one to choose. Nobody can carry you. Nobody can carry you home. We can only walk beside our brothers and sisters. We can only lead the way and live by example so that they believe it and choose it and receive it themselves. And this is with entities, they're scrambling right now, and you hold such light in your body that they're doing everything they can. And the way for an entity to remain in you, the pathway is addiction, it's self-doubt, it's low self-worth, it's these traumas and emotions. These are pathways for entities. But the thing is even the entities can't catch a ride home within your body, because you can't go home unless you are in your body. And so it's like, you know, things had to get loud. And the other kind of piece to that too is it's like the last maybe 3 years, so many of us have experienced the other side of the loud, of like our the good stuff, our guides, angels, our soul, all these cool synchronicities, all these magical, miraculous moments. And then this year, it almost seems like it neutralized, but it didn't. It was just the good stuff had to get really loud too, to get into your head above all that noise of the world. And so as you start listening to this, and this starts to lose its control, then this gets to come back into this state of now it's just who you are and you're flowing with it. And so I noticed with a lot of people this year, it was like, well, it seems like all these magical, miraculous moments, they're dwindling down. It's like, no, they're just neutralizing, they're harmonizing, they're becoming who you are. It's just becoming the way now, and they don't have to be so loud anymore. And it's just a really cool, beautiful thing. And so today I just wanted to share, like, it's wild how instantaneously your physical body will reflect what energy you're choosing to exist in right now, and how easy it is to just choose that energy. And the only place that it becomes hard is the fear. It's the fear of, but if I choose me, they might not choose me anymore. If I choose me, I might lose the safety and security of my marriage. If I choose me, I might lose something else. And yeah, you will. You'll lose everything and anything that doesn't serve you. But that's simply making the space in your body and your life for everything that is you and that is for you. And so you just have to embrace that unknown, and you have to take that leap of faith. The time is right now to choose you and claim it daily. So don't get tripped up and scared right now if your body is acting a little off kilter, maybe very off kilter. And it's like this thing too with like the bipolar is, yeah, one day you're going to be existing in alignment and these high energies. And then the next day you're going to default back down to these denser realms. And it's going to be like this up and down until it becomes this harmonized way. And then that's where, the world, these forces working against our rise, that's where they're going to sneak in and be like, oh, you have bipolar. Look at you. You're so up and down. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you're choosing. You need it. You have depression, all this stuff. And that's where you just have to hold strong in your heart and know exactly what this is. Know exactly what this is. This is ascension, and you came for this, and you will be supported in this. You will be supported in this. You hear in the Bible, like, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, like, it's radical and it's true. And so just try it on for size. That's all I would offer, is give it a go. Choose you. Choose only what brings you joy and love. And that doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect. It's not supposed to be. Challenge is where we grow and learn. But choice, choosing yourself, is where we flow. And then you become this observer, and you become this teammate with your own self. And these challenges are just cool opportunities to navigate and reroute, and it becomes this really tangible experience. And peace is found here. And this is that present moment living. This is that power of now. It's incredible. And I would just offer that you just try it on for size. Try out yourself and God. You know, I have, and I can sit here and say with conviction that it's absolutely phenomenal. And life becomes a walking miracle, and it's a beautiful thing. So, but my body has been asking for me to purify, because the other thing, there's so many beautiful women right now, and men, but I'm a woman. And so a lot of the time I'm going to really reference towards women. There's a lot of amazing men right now who are holding that fellowship and space for fellow men. But I am a woman. And so a lot of my words are going to be directed more towards women. There's so many women that are, their health, our organs. I've had so many friends have so many organs and body parts removed or infected or failing. And that's because we're clinging to these old identities. We're clinging to these old beliefs and storylines. We're carrying all these fears and entities and emotions and attachments because we've been programmed that that's our job, is to carry them, when our job is to set them down, let them go, let them flow through our bodies, alchemize them. Use this energy of fear that's just running rampant and alchemize it into the energy of love. Like, look at how much fear there is. So if we can take all that fear and tap back into our inner alchemy and transmute that fear into love, oh my gosh, what? Look how much power of love that we could be pushing into the earth. And that, I believe, the story of the Virgin Mary, I believe, has so many, parabolistic like the parables of these Bible stories. They're meant to be spoken in parables so they can apply to so many different areas. And one of the areas that I believe the Virgin Mary's story is referencing is, that's what we're doing. Like, these daughters of God that are walking the earth right now, these light workers, it's the second coming of Christ, and we're rebirthing. And that's taking in all these heavies and hurts and hards of the world, and using our powerful bodies, our inner alchemy, to then birth it back out into the world as love, as creation, as these images and creations of God. It's just really powerful when you look at it that way. So do that. Sit with your body, talk to your body, listen to your organs. And yeah, that's a lot of spiritual and energetic stuff, but we also have to pair it with the physical. We are still in a human physical body. And so that's where a lot of cleansing right now, a lot of detox. First and foremost, it's the emotional release. Absolutely. It's healing the emotions. It's the ancestral, the generational healing. It's trauma release. It's so much that energetic and spiritual work. But we pair it with the physical, because now it is physical. Now our liver is physically failing because of the traumas and energies and emotions that are trapped within it. So it's the full Monty. It's the friggin' hat trick. You hit it from all three. You hit the physical, you hit the energetic, the emotional, and what would be the third? I have it all written out. Anyways, I'm tired today. I'm tired. I did a lot of the work today. Me and Chad did a lot of transmuting today, a lot of emotional release. And so, yeah, I'm a little tired today, but my little body has been asking for a major, just reset, a cellular reset. And I was shown this morning in my meditation that's just a fast right now for me. It's quite simple for me right now. I was shown a 3-day fast, but I always got to take things a little extreme because that's who Naslin is. So I'm going to lean into a 7-day fast, honoring the fact that after day 4, if my body's like, no, we want to eat and, whatever, I always honor that. I never push myself. But so I'm going to start that. So I wanted to share that tomorrow morning I am going to be starting a water fast, and I have the coolest story to share tomorrow morning about the power of belief and how truly we can remineralize and nourish our bodies by absorbing the energy of food. Truly just sitting there in meditation and visualizing your body filled with nourishing, beautiful foods can actually sustain you. And this is Jesus's whole, 40 days in the wilderness, like his 40-day fast was to prove the power of belief in the absorption of the energy of the food. And I have such a cool theory about the Garden of Eden and the apple, but I'll share that tomorrow. So I just wanted to jump on and just say, hey, man, woman, if you're experiencing this, boom, you're right on target. But now take it to the next level. Quantum leap. Take it to the next level. Don't just sit in that awareness. Okay, now we're aware. Now we know what's going on. Now we take action with that. Now we harmonize our systems. We do that work. We do the turning our nervous system into a harmonized system. We sit, we breathe. You just sit your butt down. You breathe, you feel, you cry, you release, you move, you meditate, you tune in, you connect, you pray. And these are the things that we can do to support our body as it begins to house this light. And we do this energetic and spiritual work so that we can make way, through the body is the way. So make way in the body for this light to come through. I really see it in me and my 2 children. Our little bodies are almost being rattled apart because we're not holding that capacity to house the fullness of God in ourselves that's coming through. And so this is where we amp up the physical. We use our human to help support this. We do that emotional, energetic release. We eat the good foods. We do the physical detoxes. We support our own self, and we participate in our ascension. And it's just a really beautiful thing. And I just wanted to share that. So have a good night.